Figured I'd try something new. So this is my bathroom. You might have noticed that. That's one of the bath bats. There's another bath bat over here. We've had bath bats since the beginning, since Michael and I first got together. It's just a thing, not rubber duckies, bath bats. Bath bats float along the water underneath bubbles. Yeah. Anyway, so I was doing dye pot today. I had 4 bags of really, really old fiber that probably had bugs. A lot of the stuff in storage got bugs, and I don't want to bring it into the house and bring bugs in, because we're fighting a war with the potential of bugs right now just because of the amount of stuff in storage. That's at a really weird angle and it's driving me nuts. That helps a little bit. Anyway, so the easiest way to take care of bugs is to throw it in a dye pot. Between the vinegar or the alum and the boiling for 20 minutes, the bugs are dead. And if there are bugs, you'll be able to see them in the fiber because the bugs will dye a different color than the fiber does. So this dye pot was this was bright white to start with, and it was a single pod of coast redwood. And right there, that's a bug. It took the color darker. It's probably a moth maggot. It took the color darker than the fiber did. This needs to dry. This had alum because I was using the coast redwood. It was a brown with a little bit of white. I don't like the way alum leaves the fiber or the yarn feeling. I want to do natural fiber. I have to set this to dry. I want to do, or to drip. I want to do natural fibers. But I've got to figure out something instead of alum because I really don't like, it makes, I'm not going to say sticky. It feels felted when it's not felted, but it feels felted. Anyway, so that's that. These are my dedicated dye equipments. Because aluminum sulfate, yes, you can put it in food, but... So this dye pot is still steaming. Haha, let me bring it up. Okay, so I use food coloring formulas. And this particular food coloring formula was for plum. And in the jar, it looked rather brown and rather plum. In here, it looks purple plum, not the brown plum. It looks a totally different color, and it's really pretty. And I'm pretty sure this fiber is dead to begin with, so using dollar store vinegar and dollar store food coloring doesn't hurt me. But, okay, I really want you to be able to see the pour off, so I'm going to tip this down because it's kind of cool, I think. Okay, see that? See that? Okay. The water pours off clear, even though it was heavily saturated water to begin with. First rule of pouring off, if you're wondering about body dynamics, is because the pour is here, which means if it wraps the container, you know when you're pouring, sometimes the water will wrap and go that way, it'll go down. I don't want my foot underneath that. Okay, I've done this one too many times where you pour boiling water on your feet. So my body is off to the side while I'm pouring. That's why there's a weird body dynamic going on. So this whole pot seems to be a really, really nice dark purple. That doesn't mean that's the color it'll be when it dries, but it seems to be. Oh, so we do have some of the red in there. See? Different fibers take color at different rates and at different intensities. And splash. You saw that, right? I don't know if you saw that or not, but I just splashed up really bad. Different fibers take color at different rates and different intensities, and then you have the fact that red strikes first, so the first thing I put in is red. That's not pink. That looked pink on the camera, but that's not pink. So now I have to let this set for 15 to 20 minutes while it drains out because it's still, yeah, too hot to touch. But that's pretty enough. There is some resist. The resist is purple. I'm not seeing any bug carcasses in that one. So we'll drape that there to dry. You shouldn't handle your fiber while it's still hot. Your chances of felting it are higher. That's a really pretty color. Again, I'm not seeing any overt signs of buggies, which is good. Can you see? Yeah. Hot. This was a brown or a gray and white, and the gray is apparently turned black. Okay, I'm not going to be able to get much more out of that without risking it, so we're just going to leave it like that for 20 to 30 minutes. Let's come back up. We're going to set it into the bathtub though to drain instead of in the sink. Like that. Ah, I got dripped on. I got dripped on. So, maybe in the next couple of days. It's a rinse out stuff. It's not a permanent. I thought it was permanent. I have that. I have plain dollar store black, which never looks good. Everybody knows somebody who's dyeing their hair black. And I have some blue, which is also temporary. And in a box I have the blonde, and in a drawer I have the other blonde. And I have plenty of that. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, that was pretty much it for the day. Now I have like 14 more minutes, and I don't know if I want to do a tour of my messy house or what. I'll show you my stuff that I dyed the other day. How's that? Snap. So, leaving the messy bathroom. Going down the hall to the very messy bedroom. These are part of the dye pot I did the other day. That's not, that one's commercially dyed, which I think my dye jobs are better. Anyway, these right here are part of the reds and peaches that I did the other day. These are the blue ones that I did a while back. These are blue ones that I did even further back. Stay. I'm trying to get it to stay up there. This is my messy room. Can you see? That's my mess. My bookcases are empty because I'm missing pegs for the shelves. Oh, Lorianne asked that I talk about toxic family and toxic relationships, and I'm not. That curl is just, it doesn't go. I don't know that I'm in a place to talk about that today. I should have brought the whole carrier in. How about we talk about pan-Indian for a minute? So, one of the things that people get to ranting about is pan-Indian. And pan-Indian is the assumption that we're all the same and blanking everybody into the same, grouping everybody from West Coast, East Coast, North to South into the same, it's Indian, as opposed to it's Indigenous, as opposed to it's Coast Salish versus it's Southwestern. They're different people, they're different tribes, they're different nations, they're different ethnicities. But pan-Indian is also a thing. When we lived in Pennsylvania and I was having some pretty serious nightmare problems, a friend who was he's Lakota, he was a sun dancer, he was a vet, he worked at Tandy Leather. I don't know what else to say about him. He wanted to be an elder eventually, and his entire life was designed around becoming an elder, and his entire attitudes and how he held himself was based around, I'm going to be an elder. And somebody we knew would, that bruising in my eye looks like a black eye. Let's see if we can change the lighting. There we go. Somebody that we knew would tease him that he was a medicine man, and he'd be like, well, you know, hey, if that's what it is, it's what it is. Anyway, I was having nightmare problems, and he made me this dream catcher. And, camera angles. And a couple others. And we put them throughout the house. And damned if my dreams didn't get better for a very long time. I still have some problems. That's a mild understatement. They got better than they had been, though. It's not my tradition. It's not something I would recommend to somebody else because it's not my tradition. But I have a dream catcher because it was given to me by somebody, because we live in a global world. I'm on YouTube, and one of the people who watches this regularly is in Japan, and another person is in Seattle area, and another person is in Pennsylvania. So it's a global world. On Facebook, I have friends all over the planet. And for Native American, for indigenous stuff, I have friends who are Cree. I have friends who are Lakota. I have friends who are Arapaho. I have friends who are Hopi. I have friends who are Navajo. I have people I talk to on a daily basis that cover the continent. That covers Turtle Island. And I have a drum over here. Where's that drum? There it is. Actually, I have two of these drums. They were gifts. And I don't know where the second one... There's the second one. Okay, let me get this. And let me get... I'm trying not to show you where my sex toys are, among other things, and some giant pile of boxes, and some stuff that just doesn't need to be on camera. So I have two of these drums. I don't know their history. They were given to me by somebody who, quote-unquote, didn't want them anymore. So here's one. That's Coast Salish. That's the signature. I can't. There we go. Okay, the person who got these, got them at either the Evergreen Powwow, Longhouse Powwow, or at some art gallery. And this is the other one. That's Coast Salish-ish. I don't know. I pretty sure it's the same artist. Okay? So I have the drums. I usually, they will get hung. The one with the eagle I like to hang as the sun, and the other one I like to hang as the moon. I don't know their symbolism that well. I know we've got some orcas and some salmons. And the other one has some salmons. I don't know if he's a bear. Is he a bear? I don't know what he is. Okay, but he looks like a bear because he's got big paws. But I hang this one as the moon, and I hang the other one as the sun on opposite sides, east and west. And it's just something I've done for a very long time. Pan-Indian. Because I, for a long time, lived in the Coast Salish region. I think Salem is still in Coast Salish. I think. I don't think we're into Northern California yet. I don't know the tribes around here that much. I need to find out where they are. Grand Ron, I'm told, has reciprocity on medical. I need to figure these things out, but it hasn't been high on my personal I have energy for it list, so it hasn't happened. Anyway, Pan-Indian. People who start mouthing off about Pan-Indian and being really, really negative get on my last nerve. Because I don't like this camera angle. Because it's a certain kind of privilege to have your aunts, your aunties, your uncles, your grandparents, your cousins. It's a certain kind of privilege to have a large, close-knit family giving you your heritage. And a large percentage of modern Native Americans are orphans, so to speak. And I'm not talking about Grandma said, Okay, Grandma said she was part Cherokee. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about adoptions, and I made it worse. I'm talking about kids getting removed for boarding houses and going into adoption, and I'm talking about having family that's just toxic, and you don't talk to your family, and I'm talking about, that almost worked, and I'm talking about not having. If I was in Oklahoma, then I'd be talking Choctaw or Cherokee. I'm not. I'm not there. My Aunt Mary, I wished I'd have spent more time with. Okay, she had connections to local tribes, local Coast Salish. A large percentage, a third, maybe half, of modern Native Americans are trying to learn it as adults, and a large number of those born into families put them down and tell them that they're not valid. I've had a very specific approach to what gets described as pre-tendians. A pre-tendian is somebody who says, yeah, I'm Native American when it's convenient, and then forgets that they're Native American when it's not convenient. Elizabeth Warren, pre-tendian. Johnny Depp, pre-tendian. That's a whole different rant. We won't go there today. That's an anger-making rant. Anyway, if somebody there was a chick on Facebook for the longest time whose Facebook name was Cherokee Princess, and then her last name. And I called her on it at one point. I was like, you know, that's an insult, right? My dad used to call me that. Well, your dad used to insult you. She defriended me. My take when somebody claims heritage through ancestry or through genetics is, great. Give me a ride to the next powwow. Great. Why don't you come over and we'll make cedar bundles? We'll make cedar roses. We'll do whatever traditional thing you want to learn. Let's do this. 90% of them walk away really, really fast because they're not looking for the heritage. They don't want to learn how to bead. They don't want to learn how to do leather work. They don't want to learn how to cook traditional foods. They just want to say, I'm Native American, when it's convenient. So, is there a problem with Pan-American? Yeah. Pan-Native? Yeah. But we are a global culture, and that globalness of the culture extends to Navajo kids having Lakota dream catchers. Never mind that there used to be trade. Never mind that seashells made their way all the way inland. You know, wampum belts or whatever they were called. I don't know. I am not an academic. I don't know the right ways to say a lot of things. It's really weird how I'm looking at the camera right now, but it makes it look like I'm looking over there. I'm looking at the camera. My eyes never moved. That's really weird. Anyway, those are my half-formed thoughts. My own family toxicity, how to deal with your family toxicity. I blocked my own dad on Facebook 3-4 different times. He has 2 separate friend requests into me right now that I'm not accepting. There are things my dad taught me that were amazing. Their skills, life facts, and it does not excuse the fact that he's a raging racist, a rape apologist, a bigot. I see no reason to let that level of ignorance and hatred into my brain, into my heart, into my life. My first take on it is, where the fuck were you when I needed you? You don't get to come back 20, 30, 40 years later and try to claim nothing went wrong. Most of the people in my family make it that I'm the one that was the problem. I was a kid. I was 14 when my mother died. I was 16 when I was kidnapped and raped. Okay, I was a kid. I was 16 when my face was shattered and this happened. Okay, do you know why it's lopsided? Because there was supposed to be a second set of surgeries that never happened. You know why they never happened? Because I was a kid. Okay? I have family members who try to say that it's my fault, that I didn't follow through. How the hell does a 16-year-old follow through on a surgical consult? How? When you're getting shipped off to family member after family member after family member? Okay? So you want back into my life now? Fuck you. I tried. I did try. I tried a couple of different times. It always comes down to fuck you. If the other person, and this is in general, if the other person is not willing to grow and mature, you don't owe them a place back in your life. If they are the same exact person they were 20 years ago, when you walked away, or when they pushed you away, you don't have to let them back. Anyway, it's a much longer rant. I'll probably get to it another time. Yeah, hi. I gotta end on something positive. Let me think. Did a bunch of dying. Ooh, I can show you my hoochie dress. So, for those of you who don't know me that well, I am far more masculine than I am feminine. But I hate shopping, so I let my husband buy my clothes. And my husband, I think he takes it as a personal challenge. I really do. So, he bought me this. Can you see that? You can see that. It's a hoochie dress. Okay. So, at some point I will wear that. Because what I do with my closet, if you can see here, is I take clothes from this side, and just in order, because I don't care what I wear, and when I put clean clothes in, I put clean clothes in on that side. So the clothes are always moving that way. So eventually, I'm like 2 outfits away from a hoochie dress. I have a pair of cream pants that I'll probably push aside because I don't want to get them dirty. And then I have the hoochie dress. So I might wear that. The husband has tomorrow off. I'm not wearing the hoochie dress out on a date. It's just not happening today. Besides, I promised Chrissy I would wear it with her first. Anyway, that's a positive thing, I guess. I'm gonna go. It's been 23 minutes. This has been far more emotional than it should have been. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.